We all love Adult Swim, right? They're the home to one of the best shows ever. What do you mean, smiling friends? No, I'm talking about Demosetsu Machu Picchu. Anyway, every April 1st, Adult Swim airs their April Fool's Day prank, which over the past few years has been getting much more intricate than the last. So, I want to go over every prank they pulled to see how they have improved. Alongside that, I'll also be ranking the pranks on a scale of 1 to 10. This is my biggest video ever, my first video with a script. Shout out to my school Chromebook for not exploding while I was writing this. And I got the idea for this video after watching Oscar Byron and the Dan the Man Show's videos about Adult Swim's April Fool's pranks. So their videos will be linked in the description. So, let's start. 2004. Adult Swim began in September 2001. Yikes. Anyway, in the first 2 April Fool's Days they were in existence, they did nothing at all. But on April 1st, 2004, they did something historians will be studying for years to come. They gave random characters mustaches. Nothing else changed. They just added mustaches to shows like The Big O and Family Guy. However, because no sane person was watching Adult Swim at midnight on April 1st, 2004, this was partially lost media until very recently, when everything except part of The Big O was found, and all pieces restored in the world. The day after the prank, Adult Swim aired the same episodes of the shows, just without the mustaches. I give this a 6 out of 10. You've gotta start somewhere. Wait, they gave Stewie Griffin a top hat? Never mind, I give this an 11 out of 10. Absolutely incredible. 2005. In 2004, Adult Swim announced that they would air the pilot to Squidbillies in November of that year. But when the time came for the episode to air, Adult Swim said the episode wasn't ready yet and aired a Space Ghost special instead that included a couple characters from the network, including a character from Squidbillies. Then, on April 1st, 2005, they aired an unfinished version of the Squidbillies pilot, but the show didn't end up premiering until October 16th, 2005, even though after the pilot airing, they said it would come out in September. I give this year's prank a 4 out of 10. It's kind of boring to just air a pilot with nothing else, but it being unfinished is kinda cool. 2006. In 2006, April 1st landed on a Saturday, which used to be dedicated to anime and nothing else on the network. Because it was April 1st, the executives at Adult Swim said fuck it and aired reruns of Chuck Norris Karate Commandos, Mr. T, and Boo Boo Runs Wild, which sounds like a fever dream. They also aired normal programming, but they added fart noises. Masterpiece. They also had the bumps before shows remained normal, meaning that the Inuyasha bump aired before Mr. T and his wacky shenanigans. This has like 20 different parts to it, so 4 out of 10. Bleh. 4.8 out of 10. Speaking of parts, 2007, Part 1. So, 2007 is an incredible one, guys. Part 1 of the prank is that they aired a surprise new episode of Perfect Hair Forever, which they hadn't done since Christmas Day 2005. So for fans of the show, this was an incredible surprise for them. Then they aired every episode in backwards order, but it is in horrible quality, meant to look like a VHS tape, and the subtitles suck. At one point, the subtitles are from an Aqua Teen Hunger Force episode. I give this a 6.7 out of 10. Hey, did someone say Aqua Teen Hunger? 2007, Part 2. Aqua Teen Hunger Force: movie film for theaters was scheduled to release on April 13th, 2007. And the months leading up to the movie's release were wild. First, in January, there was the Boston Terror Scare, and in the week leading up to April 1st, Adult Swim was saying that on April 1st, they would air the movie in its entirety on the network. And they would do that, but only the first 2 to 3 minutes were full screen before shrinking to the corner of the screen while the regularly scheduled programming was airing. Throughout the movie, they put characters in the movie over fire with things saying, "Aqua Teen Hunger Force, the movie, in the corner of your screen," which is hilarious. 8 out of 10. 2008. In 2008, they did an 05 and aired previews of new episodes and pilots for shows like Moral Oral, Fat Guy Stuck in Internet, and The Venture Bros. Also Delocated. They also had intro segments by Turner Classic Movies' Robert Osborne. They also aired Aqua Teen Hunger Force: movie film for theaters normally with nothing wrong, except that it was at 3 a.m. 7 out of 10. 2009 through 2011. In 2009, Adult Swim aired the hit 2003 masterpiece, The Room. It had the sex scenes censored with black boxes. After they aired the movie, they aired Season 4, Episode 5 of Tim and Eric Awesome Show Good Job, which features Tommy Wiseau, who created The Room. 3.1 out of 10. In 2010, they aired The Room for a second time. During the movie, they had bumps that featured Tommy Wiseau being interviewed by Space Ghost. 3.5 out of 10. I added the 0.4 because I like Space Ghost. In 2011, they re-aired The Room. Oh, god damn it! The gimmick this time is that after they aired the movie, they aired the 15-minute long special Earth Ghost. Earth Ghost is an edited version of the pilot for a show called Low Country. It follows George Low, i.e. Space Ghost, and the edited version replaced George with a CG'd Space Ghost. 3.2 out of 10. 2012. In 2012, they aired the... Oh, god damn it! No! Wait. They aired the opening of The Room, but at the commercial break, they gave us the Toonami block, which ended in 2008. They then aired a normal Toonami block, with shows like Dragon Ball Z, The Big O, Blue Submarine No. 6, and Astro Boy. The host, Tom, also reviewed Mass Effect 3, which is a thing they used to do. On April 3rd, Adult Swim tweeted, "Want it back? Let us know. #BringBackToonami." And on May 16th, it was announced that Toonami would return on May 26th. It still runs to this day. I don't know, like 4.8 out of 10. 2013. I'm sorry for that. They added cats and changed the name to Meow Meow. 6.3 out of 10. 2014. They aired a brand spanking new episode of Perfect Hair Forever, which hadn't been done since 2007's April Fool's Day. After that, they aired a Space Ghost Coast to Coast marathon with every episode chosen by a member of the Space Ghost crew. Each episode started with a blurb from the person who chose it explaining why they chose it. This is sweet. 7.4 out of 10. 2015. Aqua Teen Hunger Force Marathon. Coins everywhere on screen. Character hit, they get points. Simple. Fish Center Live is a program on AdultSwim.com that is an hour of fish being commentated on while this exact same thing happens every weekday. During the April Fool's broadcast, you could watch a 6-hour-long Fish Center live stream on the website. 4.3 out of 10. 2016. On March 31st, 2016, Adult Swim ran ads showcasing their past pranks, and people thought it would be big if they were doing this. On April 1st, 2016, the most insane thing happened. Absolutely nothing. Yeah, they didn't do anything, which was the prank. 2.8 out of 10. It sucked. 2017 Part 1. That's right, we're back to two-part pranks. The first of the two pranks this night was messing with the audio of the programs. Like, pitching up voices, adding a laugh track, or adding a Seinfeld-esque sting. It's a simple prank, but you can't go wrong with a good old-fashioned laugh track. 6.9 out of 10. Nice. 2017 Part 2. This was a much bigger prank, and the one that probably broke Twitter for like 10 minutes in random place in Wyoming. On April 1st, 2017, Adult Swim aired a brand new episode of Rick and Morty, The Rickshank Redemption. They then proceeded to air the episode for 4 hours straight, which made fans of Samurai Jack mad because it ate into Toonami and caused a new episode to be pushed back to the next week. Anyway, this was big news, as fans didn't know if there was going to be a new season of Rick and Morty at this time. Later on, Adult Swim announced that Season 3 would begin airing new episodes that summer. 7.6 out of 10. 2018, Part 1. Another two-parter. In 2018, Adult Swim aired the Toonami block in full-on Japanese, not dubbed, but instead subbed, even with all the, even with Tom's segments and the game review, those were in Japanese. They then re-aired the block, but in English. I was gonna write this part in Japanese, but then I realized I would have to, pronounce all of it, so I gave up. 5.2 out of 10. 2018, Part 2. The second prank was my personal favorite of the year, as they aired the short Bushworld Adventures created by Michael Cusack, who later went on to create YOLO and co-create Smiling Friends. They aired the short for an hour straight. 8.2 out of 10. 2019. On April 1st, 2019 at midnight, Adult Swim replaced everything with a premiere marathon of Gamusechi Machu Picchu. Yes! This is the best series ever in the history of ever. My goat! Oh, sorry. Anyway, after the season finished airing, there was a live Q&A with creator Max Simonet on AdultSwim.com. As I have said at least twice in this video, Gamusechi Machu Picchu is the best show in the history of forever, so I give this an 8.4 out of 10. 2020. Pandemic year, baby! Anyway, the night started out with an intro for Season 2 of Gamusechi Machu Picchu, and yes! Season 2, baby! Oh, what? Okay. Damn it. Okay. After the intro, Post Malone interrupted the show and revealed premiere dates for new seasons of shows like Robot Chicken, The Shivering Truth, and 12-Ounce Mouse. They also announced that Season 2 of Gamusechi Machu Picchu would be coming out on TV! Yes, yes, yes! Oh my god, yes, oh my god, yes, oh my god, yes! I am deeply sorry for my actions about the series Gamusechi Machu Picchu, which is the best series in the history of forever. Sorry. Anyway, they aired the pilots for some new shows, being J.J. Villard's Fairy Tales, YOLO, and the second best show of all time, Smiling Friends. Also, Mr. Malone wasn't just the host, he also appeared in the shows. 9.2 out of 10. 2021. In 2021, Adult Swim said sorry that we're inappropriate and turned into Adult Swim Junior, which replaced voice actors with kid actors, and instead of saying fuck, they said freak. The first show they aired was Gamusechi Machu Preschool, which I believe my cousin would be very happy about. Yes! Oh my god. And then they proceeded to air Rick and Morty Babies and Aqua Child Hunger Force. The bumps were also replaced with child-friendly versions of popular shows like Kid Billy's Space Kid Quib to Quib, Super Juvie, 2 Ounce Mouse, Children's Hospital, This Time the Doctors Are Children, and more. 7.2 out of 10. 2022. Learning with Baby, learning is so fun. We like to sing and we like to hut. In October 2021, the Adult Swim YouTube channel posted a video called Come and Learn with Pibby, which went insanely viral. I think it has like 41 million views right now. So, in 2022, the prank was that the Pibby glitch took over Adult Swim. The glitch affected Rick and Morty Season 2, Episode 4, Total Recall, which is in a lot of these April Fool's pranks, which makes sense, it's the best episode of the show. Smiling Friends Season 1, Episode 8, Charlie Dies and Doesn't Come Back, and more. I think this is pretty cool, so I give this a 7.9 out of 10.
2023. In 2023, Adult Swim let AI run the network and had it ruin a clip from Smiling Friends Season 1 Episode 7 Frowning Friends, and it absolutely fucking sucked.
Those who know. Then, the remote control for Adult Swim got Dr. Pepper spilled on it or something, because it went haywire and fast-forwarded to show previews of upcoming show Royal Crackers and previews of new seasons of The Eric Andre Show and Teenage Euthanasia. After that, they rewinded to Space Ghost Coast to Coast episode Fire Ant, which is just 22 minutes of Space Ghost following an ant with no dialogue. Then they switched to Adult Swim Minus, where they were only ads for Broom Shakalaka and unedited footage of a bear. They said sorry by giving us 30 minutes of train footage. 7.1 out of 10. 2024. The week leading up to April 1st, Adult Swim said they would be airing the first episode of Smiling Friends Season 2 on Sunday night, which was April 1st, so people were skeptical. On April 1st, Adult Swim aired the Smiling Friends Season 1 episodes Mr. Frog, Shrimp's Odyssey, and Charlie Dies and Doesn't Come Back, but with a twist. They were puppet versions. Mr. Frog was actual Muppet-like puppets, Shrimp's Odyssey was sock puppets, and Charlie Dies and Doesn't Come Back was paper mache. They then aired Season 2, Episode 1 of Smiling Friends, which is called Gwimly Definitive Remastered Enhanced Edition DX 4K Anniversary Director's Cut. 9.1 out of 10. 2025. And so we've made it to this year's prank. What a journey we've been on. Wow. Anyway, you guys like Rick and Morty? This year's prank was Portal People, which was a 26-minute long stage play version of some iconic Rick and Morty scenes, like Pickle Rick killing a rat. No, it was a cockroach. I'm an idiot. Anyway, am I good at improv? Give me your opinion in the comments. Or don't. Please do, though. Anyway, it was used to promote Season 8 of the show, and you would have expected them to show the first episode of the season because they've been doing that for, like, everything that's used to promote a new season of a show, right? Nope. They aired a 30-second preview of the episode, then called it quits. 4.7 out of 10. And that concludes our ranking of every Adult Swim April Fool's Day prank. I'm going to quickly give you every ranking from worst to best before we wrap up this completely. 25, 2016, 2.8. 24, 2009, 3.1. 23, 2011, 3.2. 22, 2010, 3.5. 21. What am I doing? 21, 2.54. 20, 2015, 4.3. 19, 2025, 4.7. 18, 2006, 4.8. 17, 2012, also 4.8. 16, 2018, Part 1, 5.2. 15, 2004, 6. 14, 2013, 6.3. 13, 2007, Part 1. I am not saying that again. 12, 2017, Part 1, 6.9. Nice. 2008, 11, 2008, 7. 10, 2023, 7.1. 9, 2021, 7.2. 8, 2014, 7.4. 7, 2017, Part 2, 7.6. 6, 2022, 7.9. 5, 2007, Part 2, 8. 4, 2018, Part 2, 8.2. 3, 2019, 8.4. 2, 2024, 9.1. And finally 1, 2020, 9.2. Congrats 2020, you sucked as a year, but you had a pretty damn good Adult Swim April Fool's Day prank. Thank you to Timmy Hathold for presenting 2021, and have a happy new year. Hopefully, you don't like to die or something. Bye.